All of my life you have waited in the backstage light. All of the time it takes patience. I know that you've cried. I called you last night. You were weighing on my mind. Oh, now you know that your words make everything fine. You shook the world I'm spinning on, made me believe I could go on and on. I can see you, and I know you're stronger, stronger than the sun. Remember the days we just wasted, and the summer nights. You changed my mind, and I changed you, and words are hard to find. Maybe so far, but not so gone. It's just space and time. Oh, now you know that your words are still here in my mind. And you shook the world I'm spinning on, made me believe I could go on and on. I can see you, and I know you're stronger, stronger than the sun. I remember what you told me, remember how you loved me. I can hear you like we are still there. If I rang your number, would you still know me? Is it all just something in my head? But you shook the world I'm spinning on, made me believe I could go on and on. I can see you, and I know you're stronger, stronger than the sun. Yeah, you shook the world I'm spinning on, made me believe I could go on and on. I can see you, I know you're stronger, stronger than the sun. Well, hello everyone. I hope you are having an absolutely marvelous, fantastic day today. What you just heard was an acoustic version of the 8th song off of my record, Loud and Brave Before Sunrise, my newest record. And the song is called Stronger Than Us. It is the 8th song on the record. This is actually the vinyl sleeve for the record. You can get that on my Bandcamp page. The easiest way to do that is go to charlieeash.com, and you can click the link there to get the record or the CD if you want to, or you can, of course, do a digital download. If you get the CD or the vinyl, you get the digital download for free. So that's pretty cool. But I wanted to talk for just a little bit about this song and where it came from, how it originated, what it means to me, what it might mean to you or someone else who listens to it. The song originated a few years ago, more than a few years ago, when I lived in Nashville, and my brother and I moved there together, and the rest of our family was in Illinois. Most of our family was in Illinois, where we grew up. And this song came about, the genesis of it, because I called my mom one night on the phone, got off the phone with her, and immediately just started thinking about how she had always been there in my life cheering me on. I talk about this in the book, my book that's coming out this fall. Um, my mom was a single mom raising my brother and I for a large part of our childhood. And she was just always there on the sidelines, backstage, cheering us on. I've got great parents. My dad, my mom are both amazing. My step parents are amazing. Always been that way. And so I could have written this song, about any of them, but the fact is this song really was the result of me having a conversation on the phone with my mom, her living 4 hours away from me, but just always being there when I needed her and always being like the greatest champion for me, standing by my side, kind of sometimes out of the spotlight, but I knew she was there. And just me thinking about how everyone really needs people in their life like that. And as I looked back, I realized that she was so strong. And I think sometimes people didn't see that. And I wanted to talk about that and sing about that and how, she has told me that she thinks I'm strong and brave for speaking out about things, but really there's been so many times in my life where I'm like, you're really the strong one. And she imparts that strength to other people. And I hope that everyone has people in their life like that. We have a name for that today. We call them allies very often, especially as it relates to people who speak up, stand with, advocate for others who are left out, persecuted, forgotten about, excluded, all those things. And my mom was an ally before there was really a term for it, I think, at least before I was aware of the term ally. And as I was thinking about talking about this song and how she's always been such a great ally for me, and all my parents have been, but this song's about her. So talking about her, I've also become aware that people who are allies lately, there's this sort of ongoing conversation in the culture of America, maybe outside of America too. If you're outside of America watching this, you can let me know. But there's this conversation going on with some people who are allies for like the LGB community, where they're feeling conflicted because there has been this attachment now of the whole rest of the alphabet community, specifically the trans community. And a lot of people who are allies for the LGBT community are still figuring out where they stand with the trans community. And particularly because there's at least a part of the trans community that is advocating for things like transitioning children without parents' consent, biological males going into women's bathroom or playing in women's sports. And those kinds of things are not things that people who are allies for the LGBT community, many of them take a look at that other stuff and they're like, yeah, I'm not there. I can't do that. And they're being told by some people, well, then you're not an ally. You're not an ally if you don't support everything that we say you should support. And I just want to say to those people who are being told that, that's not true. You can be an ally for one thing and not be an ally for another. We're still early in the conversation about trans people in America. And there's people who are part of the trans community, one of them being a very high profile person like Caitlyn Jenner, who comes out and says consistently, biological males who transition and become female should not play women's sports. And Caitlyn also is very vocal about not transitioning children and not transitioning certainly children without parental consent. These are things decisions that adults should be making, not children. And the parents should not be left out of the loop. And Caitlyn says that consistently, and she's always said that. And so I just wanted to take a moment as I was talking about this song that really is specifically about allies called Stronger Than Us. And I wanted to say to you that are allies for the LGBT community, but may still be figuring out where you stand with trans people as it relates to things like these extreme ideas, in my opinion, about children and sports and things like that. You don't have to support all that stuff to be an ally for the LGBT community. And there's organizations within the gay community that are saying, please don't glom all this stuff together and make it all one thing. It's not the same thing, first of all. The conversation should be different because it is not the same thing. Being trans is not the same thing as being gay. I have nothing but compassion and love for people in the trans community. But I do not support transitioning children, and I do not support biological males participating in women's sports. That doesn't mean that I don't have compassion and love for trans people. It's just where I stand, and I'm part of the LGBT community, and I have lots of friends who are part of the community who feel exactly the same way. And so I'm saying to those of you who might be listening who are allies of the LGBT community but don't support that other stuff, that's okay. You can still be an ally for one and not support that other stuff. And I think it's very important that we say that, and we say it loudly, and we not be afraid to say it. Everyone should be respected. Everyone should be treated with dignity and love and compassion. But that doesn't mean that to be an ally for one thing, you have to believe in all the other stuff or support all the other stuff. So anyway, I love you. Be brave. I'll see you soon.